Hello and welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here. I just recorded a beautiful big 40-minute video and the damn thing computer crashed halfway through and I lost all the recording. But anyway, I'm going to do a quick video now because I've just been talking for 40 minutes or 45 minutes and my voice is about to fall out through the bottom of my throat. Oh, I hate when that happens. Okay, this is going to be a quick one. I'm just going to run through the markets. Those guys that are on the website and guys and gals that are following on the website, you know where I'm at anyway. So if you're following just on YouTube, hey, go join the website. Then you'll have these updates nightly anyway, and you won't have to suffer through piecemeal weekend videos. Okay, I do these videos to kind of gather my thoughts, but now my thoughts have been completely scattered across the floor. I spewed them out, over the last 45 minutes, and now there's nothing left. So forgive the drop in quality, and if I fall asleep halfway through this, that's just life. Okay, I'm going to move on. All right, a euro dollar. I've been tracking this D wave down in a triangle, so I think we've got wave A, topping out wave B, and then moving lower into wave C. So we're looking at 3 waves down in a D wave of a triangle, and then we'll just head sideways again, as triangles do. I think this move off the high this week may be the beginning of a C wave of wave D. So let's get into the hourly chart. Again, I'm taking too much time. I think this could be the 3 waves up in wave B. You could call this you could call this low here as wave B also, because that could be a running flat wave B with a large 3 wave internal B wave of wave B. I'm complicating matters by doing that. Okay, so A, B, C up in wave B, and then wave 1 and 2 to the downside again. So looks like we're correcting higher in wave 2, and I'm kind of targeting that previous 4th wave at about 1770 or so, and then we turn over again down in wave 3. Okay, cable is a similar triangle scenario. We've got 3 waves down in wave D underway, and we probably moving into wave C of D right now. So let's get into the hourly chart. Here's wave A down, A, B, C, expanded flat wave B, possible 1-2-1-2 scenario working right now. If we spill over today, we break down below 2850, let's say again today, that will signal wave 3 is underway. So looking for a larger 5 wave move down towards that 123, 122 handle next week. Okay, dollar yen. Now we're moving. Again, a triangle. There's just triangles everywhere in dollar markets, dollar cross rates. We've got 3 waves down, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave C. So 5 waves down in wave C. That completes a large degree wave E and B triangle. E wave of a B wave triangle, excuse me. The move off that low, again, it's the 104 area looks pretty important right now. So we've got 2 spike lows with reasonable rallies off that 104 level. So 104, have we got 5 waves up and 3 waves down? That's what I'm kind of moving towards right now. Excuse me. Oh, the quality of this has just gone through the floor. God help me. So let's get a look at this short-term chart, and we'll see what's happening. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I'm counting. 5 waves up. Possible A, B, C already done, and maybe this is a spike higher in 1 and 2. I'm looking also at this triangle. Excuse me. Triangle in a B wave. If this turns out to be a triangle and we break, let's say we break 105 again, that'll be wave C underway. So it'll be a larger wave 2. Excuse me, and we will probably target about that 104.50 level in wave 2. So wave 1 and 2 is still on the cards. So let's see how that works out. If we break 105.62, that will favor the bullish count, which is where I am right now anyway, in my head. Okay, stock market. Again, we could have head and shoulders pattern building here. Left shoulder, head up into the recent high in August, and maybe a right shoulder building right now. Obviously, that alternate count, wave 3, 4, and 5 is still hasn't been ruled out. So let's see how that plays out next week. Here's the hourly chart. You can see the main wave count calls for a wave 2 top and maybe a 1-2 scenario building right now. The alternate count is a series of 1-2s, and there is a real fly in the ointment of that bullish alternate count. The low of wave 1, so that'll be Thursday's low, did break. So if this, well, forgive me, if this is an extending third wave up, well, then this low here of Thursday and the previous interim high last week should not have broken. So we shouldn't have had a break of a fourth wave low and an alternate wave 1 high. So this should have been wave 1, 2, 3, small correction wave 4, and then a rally to a new high in wave 5. We're not doing that right now. So this alternate wave 4 is pretty much cast to the wayside. Unless something else is happening here, then we do favor the bearish count right now. So next week I am looking lower again, and I have been talking about this market on a knife edge over the last week. If it's a 1-2 scenario, then wave 3 should come in pretty, or wave 1 of 3 should come in pretty thick and fast next week. Okay, let's move on. We've got gold. Gold is definitely favoring the bearish count right now. So we've got 3 waves down in A, B, C, D, E, triangle wave B, and I'm looking for a 5 waves pattern lower in wave C. And I'm looking towards, definitely 1700 area is where I am targeting wave C towards. We've got a nice band of support here around the previous fourth wave low, third wave high, fourth wave low. So that's in around, could split the difference at about 1700. And we could be building a bearish lower high here off a second wave. So let's get into the hourly chart. I'll show you that. Here's what I'm looking at: wave 1 and 2 down, bearish lower high, wave 1 and 2, lower degree bearish lower high. And we have completed 3 waves up. We've broke to a new high slightly above that. I think it's 1908 or something high here. Oh, sorry, 1912 high. So we've met the minimum target for a 3-wave pattern higher. This could be wave 2. If we break lower again later on today, and we break, let's say 18.9 again, that should signal that wave 3 is underway. But definitely if we crash below 1882 and we accelerate, that's wave 3 of 3 underway, and it'll probably not be pretty next week. So this pattern is pointing lower next week. Watch out, we could be moving into a third of a third scenario. Crude oil here building a head and shoulders pattern also in a fourth wave. We had previous highs, kind of spike highs here around the 40, 70, 40, 50 level. Sorry, 40, 41, 80, 40, 50 level. And then we just teetered off to nothingness to that recent high at about 43.70. And then we crashed lower again in 5 waves. And now what we're doing is we're creating a right-hand shoulder in 3 waves. So we've got a 3-wave pattern here, all but complete. All we need is a spike lower to complete that. We didn't make it. We probably just about pipped the wave A high here in wave C. So you'd probably, either one of these 2 highs is a complete wave C. And then we spiked lower off both of them. So in the short term, I am allowing for an acceleration lower into wave 1. Is it possible that we make a slight new high? It is possible, but we'd have to count all of this as a fourth wave correction. Any sort of challenge at that 41.70 level and a break lower again, or any failure after a break at that 41.70 level should indicate that wave 1 is underway. But I'm allowing for possible acceleration lower over the next few days into a wave 3 of 1. So watch for that. Oh, this is turning out quite quick. My voice is about to go if you're listening to me. Again, S&P, the alternate count is a little bit more likely in the S&P, and I'll show you why in a minute. It involves this interim high, interim low. There was no break of those of that previous high by this Thursday's low, so that does not that leaves the intact extension in the third wave scenario. So I'll talk about that in a second. The alternate or the main count is still a wedge lower in wave 1, possible 3 waves higher in wave 2. We've still got a lower high, and we're still pretty seriously overbought at a lower high. So let's see how that trains out next week. Here is the main wave count: wedge lower in wave 1, and A running flat wave B, wave C to complete wave 2. We could have a 1-2 pattern underway right now, and if we break lower again this afternoon or this evening, below, let's say 34.30, excuse me, below 34.30 will indicate that wave 3 is underway. That lower wave 1 high, I can show you here, that comes in at about 33.90, 33.93 on my chart, but 33.90 or so. The alternate count views this as wave 1 and expanded flat wave 2. So that wave 1 high, if that breaks, it will, favor heavily the bearish count. And so long as that holds, then the alternate bullish count is still in play. Okay, so next week I'm still looking lower, but we've got that kind of bearish count hanging over our heads here the bullish count hanging over our heads, over my head because I'm the only bear in the room. Okay, silver. I'm still favoring the downside because I just don't think that this is over yet. I think we need one more low in around the $20 level to complete 5 waves down. We've got 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B, and now wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to complete wave C. We're going to the hourly count here. Here's the wave 4 high, and off that wave 4 high, it looks like we've got 5 waves down, and we are working on 3 waves up right now. I think we've got this a reasonable, swing highs here internally. So that's a left shoulder in around the 24.50 level, and we are trading just below that right now. So we're 24.40 right now. We did push up into an early high about 24.49 today. So we're right in that area for wave C to complete, and that would be wave C of wave 2. So if we can build a lower high today and then break lower again below 23.55, a break at 23.55 will signal that wave 3 of 5 is underway, and wave 3 of 5 should pull us to a new low, maybe about the $21 level, before we correct into wave 4. So looking for 5 waves down in wave 5. That's the outlook for silver at the moment. Okay, Bitcoin. We're moving higher, but so far that high can be viewed as a 3-wave scenario. So the bearish count would view this as wave 1 down and this as a second wave correction. So far on the main count, I'm looking at this as all of a triangle in wave 4, and then we're moving higher into wave 5. But if we break lower again, especially looking at that 11,000 mark, if we break that 11,000 that psychological 11,000 level, it'll favor the bearish alternate count. Where does that 11,000 level come in? That'd be the wave 1 high. So it's about 10,780. But we've got these wave D high here in around the 10,900, so 11,000 to 10,930 actually. Well, so far, if this is a wave 4 triangle low and we're moving higher in wave 5, then we've got a wave 1 and 2 pattern in play. So I'm mentioning the alternate count because it's very possible that everything breaks. If the stock market breaks, everything breaks, so I just want to I want to hold that kind of heavily to the front of my head. Okay, so the main wave count that I have been working on was a triangle and then an impulse move higher. So far, we've got an impulse move higher, and we're probably completing a correction in wave 2. So next week, we'd expect a rally again in wave 3. And if we do get a break of that wave 1 high, let's call that in around 11,700. If we break 11,700 again, that will indicate that wave 3 up is underway. Okay, move on to FTSE. Here is where this is a big fly in the ointment of the bullish scenario for the stock market in general. If the European markets are about to roll over again, well, maybe that chases capital to the US. I don't know. But if the European markets are rolling over again, that's really calling the bluff of the US markets. I think it really should put a nail in the coffin of the bullish thesis in general. So I think we've got a triangle fourth wave complete, and this week we did move lower pretty impulsively. And we'll look at that in the hourly chart here. A possible 5-wave move down in off a triangle high in wave 4. So if that's 5 waves down, then we've got wave 1 and 2 now completing, which would suggest that a break out of this triangle again next week. So let's say a break of that internal B wave low. So we've got actually a few cluster of lows here forming support at that 57.70 or 57.50 level. If we break 57.50 completely, that'll indicate that wave 3 is underway, and should probably, move the chairs, get out of the way, because this could crash quite significantly in a fifth of a third wave. So if we go to the daily chart, well, this is the weekly chart here. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking at a 5-wave pattern lower in wave 3. If that's the case, then watch out. Okay, the DAX head lower this week as well. I don't think this spike lower is complete. I don't think we've got 5 waves lower yet, so we could be working on wave 1 and 2, 1, 2, a series of 1, 2 patterns down. I'll show you that in the hourly chart here. So wave 1, ABC 2, and 5 waves tracing lower in 5 waves in wave 1, and then wave 2 again. So we could have a 1-2-1-2 scenario. If that's the case, then next week we would look lower into a third of a third. And if we get that, again, that should tell you where things are headed in the not too distant future over in the US. Okay, let's move on. Here's the NASDAQ, 4-hour NASDAQ, wave 5 of 5, and then a lower high earlier this week. And we seem to be moving lower again off that lower high. So on the hourly chart, we could have wave 1 and 2, and then maybe an impulse wave lower still tracing out in wave 1 and 2 again. So a 1-2-1-2 scenario. I would like to see a further break, let's say, of this internal B wave low here, about 11,200, to indicate that larger wave 1 in green is in force. But so far, so good. Let's see if we can hold the lower high and move lower impulsively. I said I would look at the Hong Kong market. It's been a bit of a perplexing trade in Hong Kong. We had 3 waves up, and we spilled lower again out of that. We had an internal 3 waves move higher. If you go back to the previous video, or one of the previous videos, you'll see that I was pointing out this 3-wave move in a trend channel, and then we spilled lower out of that again. But that just seemed to trace out 3 waves down. So we've got 3 waves up, 3 waves down. Maybe we're tracing out a larger 3-3-5 scenario. So it could be 3 waves up, 3 waves down, and then a 5-wave rally into wave C. You can't rule out the immediate bearish count, which could be a series of 1-2s again, because we still have got a lower high. And we did move reasonably impulsively lower to this week. So are we seeing what we have in both the German market, the FTSE, and also the NASDAQ? Are we seeing a small 1-2 pattern to begin the third wave? I got to leave that door open, because the action this week definitely favors that. So let's see if we can pull that off. If we can, then we've got a series of markets that should trigger a possible more sustained decline in a third wave or a C wave. So I've been talking about the market being on a bit of a knife edge over the last week or so. I still think we're on a bit of a knife edge. maybe it resolves to the upside. The balance of probabilities are still kind of hanging with the downside. So I wish that longer video didn't get corrupted, and I didn't have to go with this short video. But anyway, it's better that I get it done than I don't. Thank you so much for watching. All you guys on YouTube, I'll be back next week. All the people on the website, I will be updating after the close or towards the close tonight. And thanks for being with me. Thanks for watching. God bless you all this weekend. Here we are again in another lockdown scenario in Ireland. It's been a pain in the rear, but what else can you do? I don't know. The governments don't know what else to do these days. They just seem hell-bent on destroying economies. So, but what else do you do? I wouldn't like to be making those decisions. I wouldn't like to have to make those decisions because I don't know if you could make any other decision, to be honest. Okay. God bless you all. Be good. Have a nice weekend. And if I'm alive next Monday, I'll be updating. So see you then. Bye-bye. God bless.